All right, let's just jump right in. There are some verses in the Bible that just feel heavy. They kind of land with a thud, and honestly, they can leave you feeling discouraged, maybe even a little disqualified. Well, today, we're going to tackle one of the heaviest of them all, and we're going to uncover a perspective that, I promise you, might just change everything. Here it is, John 15, verse 2. I mean, for so many of us, this just sounds like a threat, right? A divine ultimatum. If you're not producing, you're out. It's the kind of verse that can stir up a whole lot of anxiety about performing, about being perfect enough. And that's exactly the feeling it leaves you with, isn't it? That sense of finality, cut off, disqualified, done. It makes it seem like if you're in a season where you're not bearing fruit, you're on the brink of being completely severed from the source of life itself. But what if that's not what it means at all? So let's get right to the heart of it. We've got to look at the original language here to see if maybe, just maybe, there's another way to understand this super harsh-sounding command. And here's the big question. What if the English words we've all been reading for years don't really capture the full heart of the original Greek? What if the message isn't one of rejection, but one of rescue? The key, the absolute game changer, is this one Greek word, airō. Now get this. Its primary meaning isn't to take away or get rid of. No, it means to lift up, to raise, or to carry. I mean, you can almost hear it in a word like aerospace, right? It's all about lifting something up, not tossing it out. And that one single insight, it completely reframes the entire passage. And just like that, with that one word, the entire meaning flips. We go from a God who takes away in condemnation to a God who lifts up with so much compassion. See, this isn't about disposal. It's about restoration. He's not giving up on that branch. He's giving it the support it needs to finally thrive. So what does this lifting up actually look like in real life? Well, to get it, we need to picture what an ancient vine dresser actually did. Their job gives us the perfect picture of this compassionate work. Back in the day, a branch that was lying in the mud, all tangled and unable to bear fruit, it wasn't just thrown away. No way. The vine dresser would get down, gently lift it out of the dirt, wash all that mud off, and then carefully tie it to a trellis, raising it up into the sunlight so it could finally flourish. It wasn't rejected. It was rescued. And this is a perfect picture of Jesus' work, isn't it? He's the vine dresser who came down from glory into the dust of our world. He doesn't look at our weakness and turn away. He lifts us, he washes us, and he binds us to himself so we can live in the full light of the Father. You know, being lifted into the sunlight has an even deeper meaning. It brings to mind that ancient priestly blessing from the book of Numbers, the prayer for God to make his face shine upon you. We're lifted out of the mud for a reason, so we can live in the full warmth and brightness of his favor. Now, understanding this idea of being lifted up totally changes how we should look at the whole idea of discipline. We so often see hardship as a punishment, but what if it's actually an act of love? The book of Hebrews makes this point so powerfully. It says that discipline isn't for random outsiders. It's for sons and daughters. It's a mark of belonging, a sign that God is deeply, personally invested in you as his beloved child. Think about that. According to Hebrews, getting disciplined is actually proof that you're in the family. It's the outsiders who are left alone, ignored. So correction, as hard as it can be, is actually evidence of a loving, fatherly connection. So yeah, it can be painful, but this kind of discipline is never, ever pointless. The fire is there to refine you, not destroy you. The pruning shears are a tool for growth, not just for causing pain. And maybe most importantly, it's one of the clearest signs of who you are, God's child. Okay, so how do we actually apply this? Let's try to use these ideas as a new lens, a new way of looking at the hardships that we all go through. So besides just lifting the branch, a good vine dresser will sometimes remove leaves. Not the fruit, but the leaves, the things that look good and impressive but are actually just draining energy and blocking the sun. For us, that might be a title, a habit, or some distraction that we lean on for identity instead of him. He removes them not to shame us,
but to focus our energy on what's real and what will actually last.
This reframe is just so crucial for those dark seasons in life. When you feel buried, totally lost, forgotten, I want you to consider this. What if you're not actually buried? What if you've been planted? What if all that pressure and darkness isn't meant to end you, but to finally unleash all the potential that's been stored deep inside you?
Let's just make this super personal for a second. Do any of these feelings sound familiar to you right now? That feeling of being stuck, low to the ground, covered in the dust of your circumstances, or just frustrated by a lack of growth in your life?
If that's you, let this be your new way of seeing things. You're not buried, you are planted. You're not being punished, you're being pruned for more growth. You're not abandoned because he doesn't cast you out, he calls you his son, his daughter. And you're not being cut off because he doesn't give up on you, he carries you. It really all comes down to this one powerful truth. God's discipline, his pruning, his lifting, these things are not the absence of his love. They are the clearest, most powerful evidence of it. So we end right back where we started in John 15. But hopefully we're seeing it with brand new eyes. The call is to abide, to just stay connected to the vine. Because when the vine dresser lifts you, he's really just restoring you to that place of close communion, where bearing fruit isn't some pressure to perform, but it's the natural result of just being loved. He's not just lifting you out of the mud, he's leading you forward into everything you were always meant to be.